In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the front strut assemblies on this Volkswagen TDI Jetta wagon. These are going to be located behind the front wheels. Let's get into it. In the back, we're going to pull this cover up. And then there's a cover underneath here. You want to pull that up as well. And you want to find the tool kit that comes with your vehicle for the spare tire. And you're looking for this hook or a hook that looks very similar to that. Grab that. We're going to remove these caps. Use that pick. Just get underneath the cap, pull those out. Just like that. Now we're going to remove the lug bolts. Use a 17mm socket. Before I take the last one out, I'm just going to hold the wheel on just so it doesn't fall. Grab the wheel and pull it off. I'm going to loosen up the nut for the sway bar link. Use a 18mm wrench. Crack it free first. You can use a little rust penetrant if you want. All right, and then the stud is going to move. So to prevent the stud from moving, you're going to use a triple square socket. This is a M6 triple square socket. Hold the stud from spinning. And loosen up the nut. You can switch to a ratchet wrench if it makes it easier. Take this nut off. Slide the link out. Now take the wire out of this bracket right here. There's a grommet. Just pop that up out of the way. Then we're going to disconnect this clip, this brake hose that goes into the bracket. So pull that clip out and use a straight blade screwdriver. Pop this up first. Pull that out, or you can use pliers. Loosen up the brake hose, that's loose. Now pull this wire that goes to the brake pad sensor out of the bracket. Then we'll disconnect the connector. Just push down on the tab. You might have to use a straight blade screwdriver. Slide that off. Then you have the connector at the wheel speed sensor. Push down on that tab, disconnect that connector. I'm going to take the caliper bracket bolts out. Use a 21mm socket. Loosen these up and take these out. Take the caliper and bracket off together. Those off. Grab the caliper, the bracket. We're going to swing it over to the other side. And using a caliper hanger, I'm just going to hang it from the lower control arm. Or find another area where you can hang it. That was good. Out of the way. Now I'm going to remove the rotor. Use a T30 socket, take this screw out. Just take the rotor off. I'm going to remove the bolt, the axle bolt. You're going to use a 12.24mm socket. Take that off. Take that bolt out. Disconnect the tie rod end. I'm just going to use a pry bar. Just pry down just to keep the stud from spinning, and use a 19mm socket. Take this nut off. And you can use different types of front end tools to try to separate this, or use a hammer and just give it a tap. Be careful, you don't want to mushroom the end of this over. I'm just going to use a 2-jaw puller. Separate that. Push this up, out of the way. Using a 16mm socket, take these nuts off. That came off. Grab the control arm, slide it down, push the knuckle outward. Just grab the CV shaft, and you want to pull that out of the knuckle. Set that aside. Now we're going to take this nut and bolt out. You're going to use a triple square socket. This is a M14 on the back side on the bolt, and then an 18mm socket. Take the nut off. That's good. The bolt is stuck on there a little bit just because we have some rust here. We're going to use a little rust penetrant, soak it, and then hammer it out. Just a little rust penetrant. Let that soak for a little bit. Just going to use an air hammer. Yep, it's starting to come out. There it is. You can take a pry bar and try to pry this apart a little bit, make it a little bit easier, but they do make special tools. You can put in here and spread it. Makes it a lot easier. And just supporting the knuckle. Just give it a tap. And just tap it out. Slide the knuckle off. Now, underneath the hood, we need to lift up under the cowl right here. Take this weather strip, just pull that back. Under here, just lift up. I'm just going to use a block of wood just to have that up, and then you can access the bolts for the top of the strut. You could remove the whole cowl if you want, but then you're going to have to take off the wiper arms, and it's more work. All you have to do is access these bolts. Using a 13mm socket, take these bolts off. And when you go to take the last one out, you just want to reach around underneath and support the strut. And grab the strut assembly, and it comes right out. Now take the new strut assembly, line that up. Take the bolts, get those started. Now go tighten these up. We're gonna kind of go around, tighten them evenly. All right, there we go. Snug those up. All right, now you want to torque these bolts to 11 foot-pounds. And then go an additional 90 degrees. If you don't have a torque angle meter, do the best you can. There we go. And take the piece of wood out. push the cowl back down and take the weather strip. Just get that lined up. Looks good. Now I take the knuckle, slide it onto the strut. I still have the tool on the back side. Make sure that goes all the way up. All right, that's all the way on. You can use a wire brush, just clean up the hole where the bolt's gonna go. I'm gonna take the bolt and the nut, get the nut started, tighten that down. Snug that down. And torque this nut and bolt to 52 foot-pounds plus an additional 90 degrees. That's good. And push down on the lower control arm, get this kind of close. Get the axle in. Get that in position. Get that into the wheel bearing. There we go. There we go. And put the nuts on. Snug those down and torque these nuts to 75 foot-pounds. Take the tie rod, slide that into the knuckle, get the nut started. And just using a pry bar, just pry down on the tie rod. Snug that up. And you're going to torque this to 15 foot-pounds and then an additional 90 degrees. Take the axle bolt, get that started. Snug that down. Take two of the lug bolts, get those started. We're just going to use a pry bar. This is just going to prevent the hub from spinning. And we're going to torque this bolt to 148 foot-pounds. And then you're going to go an additional 180 degrees. If you don't have a torque angle meter, do the best you can. That's good. Now, take those bolts out. Now, put the rotor on. Get the hole lined up with the threaded hole for the screw. And snug it down. Take the brake caliper off the hanger and come around. Slide that over the rotor. Just like that. Take two caliper bolts. get those started. Tighten these down. Now we're going to torque these bolts to 148 foot-pounds. Good. Take the brake hose, you're going to go through the bracket and take the tab, the little lock clip, just hammer it down, just give it a tap with a hammer. That's locked in. Now take the wires, it's going to go through this bracket right here. Slide that grommet in place. And take the connectors, connect the connector for the pad sensor, slide that on that bracket. Then take the connector for the ABS sensor, wheel speed sensor, lock that in place. That's good. Slide the link through the bracket, put the nut on. Hold the stud from spinning, and we'll tighten this down. We'll torque that nut to 48 foot-pounds. Good, take the wheel, get that lined up. Line it up with the holes. Take one of the lug bolts, get that started. Snug that down and get the other ones. Snug those down. Now we're going to torque the lug bolts to 98 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. Just go around again, double check. And take the caps and put the caps on. After you're done, you want to put the hook back, go back to your spare tire, find the toolkit, and install it in the toolkit.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.